January and an inland tsunami that towered up to 8 metres swept through Toowoomba in Queensland. Cars were easy meat, with houses for afters. More than 30 people died, many more had terrifying tales of survival. By the month's end, 4/5 of Queensland was underwater. Damage was estimated at more than $1 billion. February. A powerful earthquake struck Christchurch, killing 181 people. It was the second deadliest natural disaster on record here. Homes, buildings, lives destroyed in less than a minute.
It's my building. It's over.
A national state of emergency stayed in place for 2 months. Less than 3 weeks later in March, it was Japan's turn, an earthquake measuring 9 that triggered a tsunami that went right off the scale. Thousands died, the count's still not complete, so many are still missing. If that wasn't enough, the catastrophe included a nuclear accident on a scale second only to Chernobyl. April brought disaster to America. At least 310 people were killed in southern United States. This was the largest twister caught on film, but it was only just one of 160 reported in that week. The twisters and tornadoes continued to wreak havoc in May. In Missouri, 158 people died in one day, the single deadliest US tornado since modern record-keeping began in 1950.
Then all heck broke loose and something come crashing through the front door, and it just, we just thought the house was going to explode any second.
A volcano in Chile blew its top in June, creating all sorts of air traffic problems around the world. Flights across South America, Australia and New Zealand were grounded. More than 3,000 people had to be evacuated. Late July and the flooding begins in Thailand. It didn't let up for 3 months. In that time, more than 600 people were killed. 6 million hectares of land went underwater, an area the size of every forest in New Zealand put together. The damage bill, $6 billion. In September, the heavy rain targeted southern Pakistan, killing at least 226 people and leaving more than 300,000 homeless. Many were forced into makeshift camps. In total, some 900 villages were underwater. October, and the earth shook violently again, this time in Turkey. More than 600 people were killed, more than 4,000 injured, around 60,000 were left homeless. The year ended with a tropical storm battering the Philippines, triggering flash floods that claimed hundreds of lives. Most of the victims were asleep when the water hit. Thousands more fled their homes, many clambering onto rooftops to escape the wall of water. Amanda Gillies, 3 News.
8.9 magnitude. Now, we know that's a big number. It was the 5th largest earthquake in history. But you can only really understand the enormity when you see these pictures. An earthquake so strong it literally shifted the Earth's axis by about 25 centimeters. It all started at the epicenter near Sendai, 230 miles northeast of Tokyo. Shock waves that gave birth to a massive tsunami that started 35 minutes later, Saigai, the Japanese word for disaster.
That tsunami reached 23 feet high in some places, nearly twice the height of me standing on Chris's shoulders, for example. And that wall of water is primarily the cause of a death toll that is in the hundreds, but is certain to rise, with 88,000 people in Japan still unaccounted for. The tsunami is also what triggered so many fears in the U.S. today, as the entire West Coast and Hawaii went on alert. But tsunami alerts and warnings were not foolproof in Japan. The people there had little time to prepare, and even worse, few places to run.
It has SOS. Helicopters, please land here.
Today, Japan woke up to widespread devastation. It is hard to believe it's been just 24 hours since the most massive earthquake in recorded Japanese history. It began as a sunny Friday, much like many others. But at 2:46 in the afternoon, without warning, the earthquake struck.
This is the diet session recorded earlier, right when the earthquake hit Tokyo.
At first, the people that I work with here in Tokyo, it was normal for them. And shortly after that, it started to get scary.
We are experiencing an earthquake.
Building with terrifying intensity.
Everything is falling. Holy
As the quake rumbled across the country, school children ran in fear. Shocked supermarket shoppers tried to stay on their feet. Airport travelers dodged falling debris. And a TV crew setting up for an interview was suddenly interrupted. In Sendai, the city closest to the epicenter, books flew from shelves. Debris from buildings crashed to the ground as pedestrians ran for cover.
Oh, God.
189 miles away in Tokyo, confusion and then panic.
Kind of scary. Oh, this building's swaying across over here. Oh, scary moment.
Below ground, an American working in Japan captures this dramatic video in the subway.
This was somebody taking you by two hands and just shaking you constantly for a good 3-4 minutes and just wasn't stopping. I was amazed how long this thing was going. It just did not want to stop.
All right, I'm going to go under the desk.
The quake lasts 5 agonizing minutes.
When the earthquake hit at its strongest point, it was so significant that I couldn't stand up in my room. That's how much the building was moving at the height of the main quake that hit.
And leaves Japan's capital city incapacitated. Trains stop, power is cut to 4 million buildings, phones are out. Flights trying to land in Tokyo are diverted to U.S. military bases elsewhere in Japan. Buildings in Tokyo swayed back and forth for half an hour. As powerful aftershocks rocked the island nation, news anchors wear helmets on television. But the disaster has only just begun. The quake unleashes 3 massive tsunami waves that hurtle toward the coast of Japan at speeds of up to 500 miles per hour.
In Sendai City, a tsunami reached as far as 10 kilometers inland.
For the people in the northern city of Sendai, still dazed from the quake, there was too little time to react.
A large part of the city has been struck, engulfed by this tsunami.
Huge boats are torn from their moorings and tossed into overpasses. Houses are crushed like kindling by the awesome power of the waves. And everything is smashed together into a deadly wall of debris that consumes everything in its path. As the wave streaks along the flat countryside, the CCTV cameras record the slow-motion swallowing of an entire airport. A bullet train filled with passengers and tourists traveling along the coast disappears, so far without a trace.
We are watching this incredible torrent of debris.
In the ocean, a huge whirlpool forms off the coast, a result of the ocean floor essentially cracking open, the water acting like it would as if a bathtub is draining, potentially sucking everything down to the ocean floor. Miyagi police report that a boat with 81 people on board is missing.
Please evacuate and take precautions.
Japan is the only country in the world with an early detection system for earthquakes. It worked well by all reports, sending warnings across the country and allowing some factories time to shut down. Still, an oil refinery explodes.
And that fire in an oil refinery completely under control, a large inferno.
Perhaps most ominously, this nuclear plant on the coast of Fukushima is in a state of emergency when its backup generator fails, compromising its ability to keep its radioactive core cool. The reactor is only 170 miles northeast of Tokyo. Even as Japan mobilizes a global realization that the giant wave is traveling east across the Pacific.
We don't know the height of the waves if and when they hit these islands.
That is absolutely unbelievable. Here it comes again.
And other countries begin to brace for impact.
This is coming straight over the wall onto the main road.
In the hours before, Honolulu police prepare for the worst, evacuating tens of thousands of people near the beach. In Hawaii, a series of waves 7 feet tall hits just after 8 a.m. Eastern, but fortunately does little damage. Crescent City, California, hit by a tsunami back in 1964, had a hard day today as well. An 8-foot wave came in, destroying the city docks and piers, doing millions of dollars in damage. Similar scenes in Santa Cruz, but nothing like the scenes of devastation in Japan.
Late today came word that the missing ferry boat and its 81 passengers had been found. Rescuers have arrived via helicopter. But for Japan, the long journey back has only just begun.
This woman who comes from Yokohama says she cannot reach her family and she's worried about them.
Overnight, tens of thousands of people slept on the street in 37-degree weather or huddled in shelters, contending with over 100 frightening aftershocks.
Aftershocks have been consistent. I have to easily say there's been over 30 throughout the day.
This morning, rescuers fan across the country as survivors emerge, and fresh scenes of devastation and tragic human loss. A bridge snapped in half, people perched atop a shattered apartment building. Amazingly, with its strict building codes, Japan came through with much less damage than other countries would have suffered.
And thank God for the way they build buildings here, because I may not be talking to you.
A cautionary tale for those other nations in the deadly ring of fire.
We're joined now by Akiko Fujita, our ABC News reporter in Tokyo. And now, Akiko, things have had some time. People have had some ability to get settled there through the day. What are you seeing?
Well, we're still seeing plenty of gridlock out here. You can see all the cars just jammed. We're seeing this on many roads as people try to head out towards the disaster zone. Traffic not so bad away from it. In Tokyo, we are starting to slowly get back to normal. Some train lines back up and running. We see the street lights working, power running, and water running as well. So things slowly starting to get back to normal out here, but obviously the hardest hit area up north, not the case.
And the fear of the unknown there must be tremendous. What are you hearing? What are people concerned about?
Well, the biggest concern really is just the death toll. When you look at those images, massive waves just coming, crashing on shore yesterday, immediately after that earthquake hit, and you see those homes being washed away. You can imagine just what kind of damage that caused. People are getting out there today, and they are just concerned about what they could see. Death toll sure to rise in the days and weeks ahead.
What do you know about the recovery effort and the ability to get supplies to the hardest hit areas?
Well, the Japanese government has put, all hands on deck. Just thousands of people affected out there. They are trying to get people out there as soon as possible, but they also have to be mindful of their safety. A lot of structures out there very unstable. Some of these homes to see if there are any survivors, but the conditions are making that difficult as well.
All right, Akiko, thank you so much from the reporting there in Tokyo.
That wave is a good 15-20 feet tall. Easy. Get in, get in, get in! Fromนี้ไม่ยอมขึ้นครับไม่ยอมขึ้นวิ่งแล้ว
Ужас! Ужас!
Landing!
Yeah, we're gonna blast up. Oh yeah, it's a wedge. Look at the rotation.
Yeah, we gotta get her. We're gonna keep going straight. Go, 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 go!
Yeah, let's follow it, guys. Get in. Everybody in! Everybody in! Whoa, is that intense? Look at that. Go, come on, it's crossing the road right in front of us here. Debris! Debris!
It's coming up. That whole thing's coming up.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're fine, Ricky.
You're fine. Keep going. Why is this guy stopping?
That's it. Watch that car. Watch that car.
Go, Ricky. Oh, I got glass all in my sneakers. Oh, I can feel shards hitting me.
Okay, watch out for the storm chaser. Yeah.
Go, go,
Closer.
go, go.
Give him a honk. Somebody knows we're going by 3.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh. Whoa, it's gonna take out.
Okay, stop here, don't you think? Yeah. Stop. Whoa, look at that.
No, we're gonna get into the trees here. Should we
That's
stop
all right.
here?
No, 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 keep going. We're gonna get up close to this thing.
Yeah, look at that. Last road down the stage. Increíble. Increíble.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
que está allá en las tierras que están por la secundaria. Ve a dónde van los plásticos. Ve dónde van los plásticos ya. Véntese. Pero ve allá arriba, ya está donde está llegando la tierra, ve. No, el aire sí que enfriega. Nomás que ya no hay polvo que levantar. Ve los plásticos.
Let's go! Another funnel right behind us! 2 on the ground! 2 on the ground! Oh yeah. Whoa, multi-vortex! Multi-vortex!
I gotta get good video. No, for sure. My fault. I just can only film so far to the left, you know. Well, I hope everybody's alright.
Slow down, Ricky.
Yep. Slower, faster?
Slower, slower, slower. When you get to a gap where there's no trees, you slow right down.
Okay, we're gonna run into trees, but then we're gonna go up on that side of the valley.
Okay.
Let's rock.
Got a little hill up ahead.
Okay, right up to that curve. Go right up to that curve.
Yeah. Oh, we got a horizontal vortex.
Ricky, pull,
Yeah,
stop.
Getting
out of the car.
Yep.
That was a warning.
That was close.
Yeah, I saw it flash, man.
I think this is the long-term tornadoes we were looking for, eh?
Pretty sure we're along this too.
Yeah. There it is.
2 cars behind. He is the 3rd car behind. You want to go east? We can do it now.
Yeah.
Let's do it now, guys.
We do, yeah,
Yep.
we do.
Oye.
내린 비로 강처럼 변한 서울 남부순환도로. 우면산 꼭대기에서부터 하얀 물보라를 일으키며 도로 위로
Wow. Hey. Wow. Oh. Watch out for the shock, it's coming.
Good. Good. Just do it up. Holy crap!
There you go. Oh yeah. Jesus. Oh, that is going to be a big wave. Falling! We're almost falling! Fuck! 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 Oh, wow! Nice! Finns som dolkimse! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.